Welcome to Student Connections, where students connect with their community.
Hello and welcome to Student Connections on M6, your hometown station. I'm Elena Tickle, and joining me is Mr. Tom Valko, the Marysville High School Vice Principal and also the Athletics Director. Hello.
Hello, Elena.
So, how was the fall season for athletics this year?
Actually, we had an outstanding fall season. We had 3 Macomb area conference championships, girls golf, girls cross country, and also football. Football made the playoffs again this year, and the girls volleyball team won the districts and made it to the advanced to the regional finals. So, all in all, it was an outstanding fall campaign for us. Participation numbers, probably the biggest key. As far as I'm concerned, is participation numbers, and those stayed high. We didn't have to eliminate any lower levels, so we were really excited about the fall.
Now, were any of your expectations exceeded this year?
I don't think so. I think we have very dedicated student athletes. We have very dedicated coaches, and they put in a lot of time and a lot of hard work, and I think that ends up they get paid off at the end for their hard work, and I think those championships and participation numbers and that speak to that.
Now, the gym, the Aux gym, and also the pool, they're new facilities. So how are they holding up in comparison to the old ones?
We really feel blessed, obviously, for the facilities that we have. Some of the nicest, probably the nicest in the county and some of the nicest in the state. The students and student athletes are taking great care of them. They're holding up well, and one of the benefits of that is we get to host a lot of tournaments, a lot of Michigan High School Athletic Association tournaments, as well as local tournaments. So it's been a huge blessing.
Now, the Board of Education has a new policy for senior citizens, and that's in regards to admission costs. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. Anyone over the age of 60 now that comes to any of our events, whether they're from Marysville or not, we can get into the games for free as long as they're not Michigan High School Athletic Association tournament games. Those they don't allow any breaks on. Our policy used to be you had to go to the school administration office, central office, prove that you were a city resident, and then you would get a card and show that card. But now, regardless of where you live, where you come from, if you come to a Marysville event that's not MHSAA, then it is free.
Okay, so you're the athletics director. Do you coach anything?
Yes, I help out with girls basketball. I was coached boys for a long time, varsity boys, but now I help out with the girls.
Okay, so the Hype Nation, I believe that's what it's called.
Yes.
It's a very popular student section. How has that impacted the game atmosphere?
I think it has a tremendous impact. I think if you attended any of our volleyball games or football games where the spectators are up close, our student section, to me, is one of the best in the state. They do things with class, they're loud, and I think if you ask any of our athletes, it's a huge advantage for us to play at home when the Hype Nation's there and going strong.
So how do you run the weekly eligibility for sports players?
Our eligibility is based on weekly grades that we print on Monday. If your grades are passing on Monday morning, you're fine. If not, you get 1 warning week per season, per athletic season, per class. So anytime that class dips below passing after that warning week, you're ineligible for that week. And our eligibility now is for competitions only. You're still allowed to practice if the coach sees that as fit. Some of the coaches have students work on homework during practice. It's kind of their decision, but what they can't do is if they fall their second week of eligibility, they cannot compete in competitions.
Okay. So if Michigan Athletics was to think about putting a new rule in place, how would they go about doing that? Like, is there a special procedure?
Yeah, there's an MHSA board, and what they do first is they will poll their constituents or members, which are the member schools of the state of Michigan, and if there's enough interest in changing something or adopting something new, then it will go to the board and they vote. Some of the most recent ones you've seen or that students have probably noticed are all the precautionary measures with regards to health and safety. All coaches now must pass a concussion protocol test, and starting this year, all head coaches, head varsity coaches, have to be certified in CPR. And my guess is next year, all coaches at any level will have to be certified CPR.
Okay, and thank you for joining us and sharing this with us. And we'll be right back after these short messages.
What you doing, Dad?
My favorite thing,
Really, Dad, what are you doing?
paying bills. Every month a stack of them come, just as regular as the rain.
What's this one?
That's a special one, son. I pay it first.
How come?
It's money for my retirement account. I put some money aside each month just like I was paying a bill.
Wouldn't you rather buy something?
I don't want to work forever, and I don't want you to have to support me in my old age. In a way, I'm buying peace of mind. I'm on the installment plan.
They've stormed beaches and freed countries. They've raised our flag and our hope. They've been called leathernecks. They've been called devil dogs. But above all, they're called Marines.
Hello and welcome back to Student Connections on M6, your hometown station. I'm Elena Tickle, and we've been talking with Mr. Tom Valko about the Viking athletics. Now, while you're in the midst of winter sports, are there any specific rivals that we should be looking forward to in the future?
Yeah, we obviously have all our local rivals. Unfortunately, we played a lot of those already with the boys playing Port Huron High. The girls have played Northern twice already in basketball. But tomorrow we have the four sports, the St. Clair Invitational Swim, and there will be a lot of local teams there. Friday we have a very good rival girls basketball game with Marine City coming into Viking Gym. And then Saturday, the January 16th, we host the Gatorade Duels, a large wrestling tournament that will be very competitive with some of the best teams in the state here. So that'll be, for any fans that are interested in wrestling, that'll be a great event.
And how have our Vikings been doing during this winter sports season?
We're off to a great start. Boys and girls basketball both are highly rated in the area, 1 or 2, I think both of them. Swim's off to a good start. Bowling, girls and boys bowling haven't lost yet. So, you know, the expectations are high, and the student athletes and coaches are fulfilling those. We're off to a really good start.
And last year, the boys' districts and the Class B quarterfinals were hosted here for basketball. Are there any plans to host any other postseasons?
Yes, actually, we have the boys' district basketball again. We're hosting team wrestling districts, and then we also have the girls' basketball regionals and the girls' basketball quarterfinals.
And do you have any specific expectations as to the rest of the winter season?
No, I think like I stated earlier, you know, our coaches and student athletes are so dedicated, and they put in a lot of extra time, and you know, that just breeds success. And I think our student athletes and coaches' expectations are to be successful, and that, you know, doesn't necessarily mean winning all the time or anything like that, but we have outstanding programs with great coaches and quality student athletes that are doing the right things, and you know, to me, that's what is the success of our programs.
Now, would you like to see any improvements in the Marysville athletics if possible?
I don't think. The only thing I don't want to see happen is what's happening around the county and even in the Macomb area conferences. You know, participation numbers are dropping, and we've been lucky enough, and I think that's because of our coaches and our programs and our dedication, that we have not seen that drop. But there's been a lot of lower level programs in this winter already and in the fall, and I assume it'll happen in the spring from other schools throughout the county and throughout our league that just aren't having freshmen or JV, or some of them even varsity programs. So my goal is to keep that up. There's just too much research out there that says, you know, if students are involved, whether it be extracurricular or athletics, they're going to be more successful academically. So that's, you know, what I want to see keep rolling, and hopefully we can do that.
Now, when it comes to teen captains, Do you have any expectations, or what do you like to see in a team captain?
Well, our coaches all kind of look for something different. That's a coach's decision. And typically, you know, they're looking for somebody that's dedicated and a leader. And we are actually looking at some leadership classes. We took a group down to a leadership thing a few weeks ago. And we're going to probably continue that and looking at maybe some captain's classes or things like that to just try to aid those students into becoming quality leaders.
Thank you very much for joining us.
You're welcome. Anytime.
And be sure to join us again for Student Connections on M6, your hometown station.